Boys, a really popular series on this channel is the Premier League tier list. Now, this is the final episode of the Premier League tier list. Basically, we go through different positions. Now, we've done strikers, we've done wingers, we've done centre mids, CDMs, cams, fullbacks, centre backs, and now we've got our last slot of a puzzle for the Premier League, which is going to be the goalkeepers. Now, it's doing really well on YouTube. I know there's like some that's got 6,000 views, some that's got a few thousand. So all up, there's like maybe 20 to 30,000 views of this Premier League set so far. Now, we're going to get the Bundesliga, La Liga, Serie A. We're going to get all of them, so let me know what league you want me to do next. If you guys aren't aware of this, what we're going to do is we're obviously going by the league, which today is the Premier League, and we're going to go by positions, which today is the goalkeepers, the final one of a Premier League tier list. Now, in our last tier list videos, what we did is we had I think a cheap, good, and elite tier, and we put lots of them into a specific tier. And so if you watch those videos, you'll know what it's about. Now, we're going to run it a little bit differently today. Basically, we're shortening it, and I'm going to shortening it and hopefully giving you guys the same amount of information in less time. So what I'm going to do is, instead of putting like a shit ton of players and ranking them all like 10 to 15, what I'm going to do is we've got a cheap tier, we've got an affordable tier, and we've got an expensive tier, and I'm going to give my top 3 picks for each of that necessary tier, if that makes sense. I feel like, a shorter video, less time, less players, and also, obviously, hopefully just as much information. You guys will see how it works anyway. So as you can see, we will be looking first at the cheap tier, which is players range between obviously 0 coins and a maximum of 5,000 coins. Now, for the third place in the cheap tier, it is going to be Nick Pope. Now, Nick Pope, he's an absolute monster. 6'6". He's got the saves with feet trait as well, which obviously just makes him so solid in game. Now, last year, he was meta. Everyone was using him literally like 6 months into the game, which tells you something. Now, I actually was running Nick Pope in my team for maybe like 20 or 30 games. I'll probably say around 10 or 15 of them were online in division rivals. And I can say goalkeepers this year are definitely very interesting, let's just say that. But either insane or either bad, but it's obvious there's, a few keepers that are better than the rest, if that makes sense. Now, Pope is good, don't get me wrong, he pulled off some wonder saves. Being 6'6", his reach is always going to be class, he's got some nice traits, but he is not as good as he was last year. He's not as OP, he's not that OP go-to guy, so he is going to make it into the cheap tier. He's going to make it into the top 3, but he is going to be third. Second is going to be Martinez. He's received a massive upgrade. Now, I faced Martinez I think 3 or 4 times, and each and every single time he has been absolutely brilliant. And I feel like the reason that I have just edged Martinez over Nick Pope is he's just, when I've been facing him, I used actually Martinez in draft earlier today, and he's just a consistently good keeper, and that's why you're seeing quite a few Martinezes. I don't know about you guys, but I've seen a lot myself. So I feel like Martinez does make up that second spot. He's got some really nice stats on paper as well, especially for only an 84 rated card. Now, the top spot in the cheap tier, who's taken gold for the cheap tier, he's 2,000 coins on the market. It is going to be Mendy for Chelsea. I hate playing this guy. I love using him, and I hate playing this guy. Once again, I've been grinding some online draft. I used him in draft, and he was just ridiculous. He is as well a giant. I believe he's 6'5" or 6'6". And the thing about him, I mean, he's been much better for me than Pope. He was much better. I haven't used Martinez as much as the other ones, but 110%, boys. I faced this dude earlier. We drew 2-2. It was in division rivals. I'm pretty sure it was. We drew 2-2, and I had 7.8 expected goals, lads. That is absolutely just rough. As for the traits with Mendy, he's got comes for crosses and the leadership trait. Now, he is 6'6", and it's just something about this guy. He is just absolutely wild. It could be the fact he's 6'6". I know Nick Pope is also 6'6", but for me, Mendy is just that guy for the cheap tier this year. Overall, heading on over to the affordable tier, this one's going to be a quick one because there is literally only one Premier League goalkeeper that can class as an affordable tier, because the affordable tier is players between 5,000 and 15,000, and there's only one player, one goalkeeper, Premier League goalkeeper, that is between 5 and 15,000, and that is Hugo Lloris for 10.5 thousand. So we're just going to put him into that number 1 spot. I'm not going to lie to you, lads, I haven't used him much, but if you're looking for an affordable keeper, Hugo Lloris is literally your man, and as I said, he's the only one that actually qualifies for this 5 to 15,000 coin tier. Now the expensive tier, this is what you guys are here for. So, a lot of thought has gone into this expensive tier, and the expensive tier, it says 15,000 to 100,000 coins. Usually with, you know, other positions, it'll be like a lot more than 100,000 coins, but Prem goalies is literally only one around that 100,000 coin mark. Now, in third place, it is going to be, is it Dudek? I'm probably butchering it, but he's a new hero card. Now, he is classed as a Premier League goalkeeper. Obviously, he did spend the 5 years at Liverpool, and he got his hero card for his penalty shootout save against, I believe it was AC Milan in the UCL final. Now, the reason he's literally the most expensive out of a lot, he is actually 100,000 coins. I think he's like 101k, so just, you know, class him as an expensive one. Now, I'm actually going to put him into third, and I'm not going to lie, boys, I would just stay away from him. He's good, don't get me wrong, he's going to be good. These hero cards always have a feel about him, about them, but they're 6'1". He's only 6'1", Dudek. He's only 6'1", and his stats are not anything crazy whatsoever. He's got no traits as well. A little bit of an underwhelming card, in my opinion. The only reason he's this expensive is literally because he is basically a B-Tech icon, if you will, being a hero card. So he's going to take a bronze medal for the expensive tier. Now, second, obviously, it's the two Brazilian lads that are in second and first. Now, for me, boys, I have faced both of them. I have briefly used both of them. I've had feedback from others on both of them. My second best goalie in the expensive tier is going to be Ederson for Man City. Now, once again, he's one of the keepers I hate facing and love using. I used him briefly in a foot draft. Once again, I've been playing quite a few foot drafts on my Road to Glory as well. I think I probably played maybe 10 or 15, but I briefly used Ederson, and he was really, really solid for me. He wasn't anything like spectacular, but he did the job, and goalies this year in general are just absolutely nuts. Now, one thing that I did notice was really good with him was the rushes out of goal trait, because not too much keepers does have that rushes out of goal trait, and Ederson does offer that, which is really, really nice. And as well, I do want to give you guys a heads up, he is indeed a left footer. I was clearing the ball, and I was with his right foot, and I was like, this is a little bit odd. He's got a 3-star weak foot, but still, just be warned, he is a left foot, so if you are clearing the ball, you know, you kind of want to avoid kicking it into your opponent's attacker's face and it bouncing into the net. So, Ederson, a really, really solid keeper. I've heard only good things about him. He's coming in at 35,000 coins at the minute as well, which is fair enough, and he does take silver. Obviously, that leaves us with the gold being Alisson, in my opinion, the best Premier League goalkeeper, I mean, in real life and in the game. Now, Alisson, he is 6'3", obviously he's a right foot, 1-star skill moves. I mean, you're not expecting a 5-star skill, are you? But the 3-star weak foot, he's right-footed, he's 6'3", so he's 1 inch taller than Ederson. As for his stats, his positioning of 90 is absolutely class. He's actually got some really solid speed as well, and I feel like the only thing Ederson does offer over Alisson is he's got 64 speed. Ederson having 64 speed is actually really nice, especially with the rushes out of goal trait. So Ederson is a really, really good goalie, but for me, I've only heard good things about Alisson, and I hate playing against Alisson. As for Alisson as well, he also has rushes out of goal, and he does have a goalkeeper long throw trait. Now, with Alisson, I just feel like he's got that special thing about him. He is absolutely class. You could make a debate, obviously, between Ederson or Alisson. I feel like Ederson, running out, like rushes out of goal, 64 speed is just absolutely phenomenal. As for, actual, handling, I feel like Ederson's 82 handling, it kind of lets him down a little bit, and Alisson literally just edges it on paper, just. It's a very close one between Alisson and Ederson. Boys, hopefully you guys did enjoy this new format of a tier list. I feel like, it's easier. If you guys have another Prem goalie, let me know down below. I haven't used lots of them. All of these are just going off of a price, for stats, and also, I think literally all of these goalies on this list I have used this year, except Dudek for Hero 1. So yeah, let me know if you've got any goalies down below, and I'll give you my feedback on them, whether I think they'll be okay. Like, I know there's, some like Pickford, Leno, De Gea, Schmeichel, players like that, or goalies like that, that just didn't make the top 3 of their specific price range. If you guys did enjoy it, until next time, see you later, boys.